Let's be honest, traffic doesn't matter. What actually matters are conversions. In this video, I'm going to show you 5 things you can do in order to squeeze more conversions out of your existing website traffic. I analyze websites for a living. To be honest, we're a growing team of 25 SEOs right now, analyzing websites every single day. Our clients' websites, their competitors' websites, other websites that do really well in their industry. And when you analyze so many websites and have so much data at your disposal, you start to identify certain patterns of what converts and what doesn't convert. And now I want to show you 5 things you can do on your site that actually are going to increase conversions. First of all, number 1, tracking. I still audit websites every week that have no proper conversion tracking in place. If you have no conversion tracking in your Google Analytics and you have some money to invest, get someone to set this up for you. My team can certainly help as well, because you want to make sure that you know which channels convert, which conversions are actually being executed or fulfilled, and where do those people come in. Are they from social? Are they from a certain article on your website? Do they come from direct hits because your brand has a lot of recognition out there and people search for your brand specifically? You really want to know these things to make the right choices. So if you don't have conversion tracking in place properly, and sometimes this can be challenging with different domains or subdomains or shopping carts or membership sites connected, make sure this happens first so you have finally data to base your decision on. Every decision we make based on SEO is data driven. So we establish the benchmarks first and then iteratively try to get better and better. Tip number 2, calls to action. Now, if you're a savvy business owner, you already know people come to a website usually to solve a particular problem. And what we see sites do, or one of the biggest failures or lack of potential they have there, is that they don't give people anything to do. They just provide outstanding content, case studies and whatnot, but they don't tell people what to do next. What you really want to do is that you have calls to action on your website, so you always tell them what is actually going to be the next logical step when they're interested in this particular article. The biggest part here in increasing your conversion rates is to figure out at which stage of the funnel they are in. Remember the stages of the sales funnel, like awareness, interest, desire, and conversions. Not everybody is at the moment of converting actually. They might have just heard about your brand, you're raising some awareness, you can lead them down different paths to explore more what you're doing and which results you're achieving for your clients. Or they might actually be on this conversion stage. They know and trust you already and are about to take action. You want to figure out where they are and then provide with the call to action the next logical step for them. A great way to get someone to convert is offering them something they can opt in for. They can type in their name and email address for and download something. What you need to nail to make this happen, and we have clients who get thousands of opt-ins every single month, is the relevance. You need to first identify a topic that's really relevant for the key audience, and then have something really relevant for them to opt in for. So if someone comes in with a particular problem, you can have a PDF, for example, that summarizes how to solve this problem, but also maybe already gives them the next steps they are going to need on their journey. So they are going to be really motivated to give their email address up in exchange for this PDF. Your lead magnet always needs to be in balance with what you're asking for. If you're asking for a name and email address, your lead magnet needs to serve a certain purpose and really be compelling. But we have seen sites asking for the name, email address, phone number, company size and whatnot. So they ask for a lot, but if the PDF is just a general ebook, it's not relevant enough and the conversion is not going to happen. No matter how big your brand, no matter how much traffic you send to this page. So if you sell software, for example, and that solves a particular problem, the lead magnet can't be like a general marketing or sales document or ebook you have written together. Even if it's good value, people are not in this moment when they come to your site. They come to your site because they want to check out your software as a potential option, and you might even give them maybe a buyer's guide or a checklist for what to look for, etc. These kinds of things are going to be relevant. A generic ebook hardly is going to be a compelling reason for someone to opt in for. Give your users a compelling reason to opt in for, and your conversions are going to be skyrocketing into the hundreds or thousands. Now, these 3 tips are already going to drive you forward and increase your conversions. But wait for the next 2. Before, however, I would love for you to put an OK into the comment section so I know you're still with me. Number 4, placement. When I moved to Spain, one thing very quickly came to my attention. There is a pharmacy store everywhere. Wherever you are in a town in Spain, there's going to be a pharmacy store nearby. This was really weird because in Austria, this was more regulated when I was still in Austria. And there was only like 1 or 2 stores allowed in every town or things like those. When I come to a website, very often I wish there was a call to action like I have pharmacy stores in Spain. Many times you're in the middle of a huge article and you have nowhere near any call to action, any button that tells you what the next step is. And it's hard to find the contact details, it's hard to find a phone number, an email address, etc. You want to make it really, really easy for your users once they are on the website and they really want to do something here to actually make the call to action happen. So always place the call to action at different locations. We usually suggest to have one above the fold, meaning before people start scrolling, and take into account on mobile phones this might be a little bit different. Then in the middle, depending on how long the article is, you want to have between 1 and 2 or even 3 on a long article, and you want to have a call to action at the bottom. And you're going to see that just by changing the placement of your existing lead magnets, you're already going to attract much more traffic and conversions. Another way to make sure that the call to action is always visible is to have it in a menu like we have it on SEOleverage.com, where you're going to find a quick audit that's really popular, where people get a first assessment of their website. We have this highlighted so people can easily get this quick audit and don't have to really look for it. A third way I've seen is that people have this call to action be sticky maybe at the bottom. This works especially nicely on mobile phones, for example. On e-commerce sites you're going to see this sometimes, where you scroll through an email e-commerce site and at the bottom you always have this call to action with the cart icon, so you can essentially click there and proceed to the checkout and the actual purchase of your products. Tip number 5, no surprise parties. As great as a surprise party might be for your birthday, you don't want surprise parties on your website. No surprises at all. You want to deliver on your promise and make sure people do not get any surprises on the journey to the conversion, which might wear them off or drive them to your competitor's website. Think about e-commerce sites where you found your product, you like the price, you agree with everything, you add this to the checkout, and suddenly there is a shipping fee you didn't know about. Imagine there is a lead magnet and you opt in for something with your name and email address, and they ask you for a lot of more information to actually get this PDF that you actually wanted. These are surprises nobody likes, and people are going to be fed up with your site. They are going to be frustrated, they're going to sign off, unsubscribe or whatever. This is not the kind of conversion you want. You want a kind of conversion where people know what is going to happen and they are happy to give you their email address, the money on your store based on the conditions they know about. They don't want surprises. So have your surprise parties at home, but not on your website. Now there's only one step left. Head over to Instagram, find me, Gert over there. I'm sharing videos with tips there many times every single week, and I would love to connect and receive a DM from you about how you implement these conversion tips and how these are working for you. See you there.